introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intention is teaching that talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers, 50 to 80%. That ain't all that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his tip methodology. Really, dream, be persistent, face fears, seek change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin, yeah. He says recognize trauma, push past the pain. If you got a problem, go look at his frame. Work your perspective and look at it change. Find a goal, set it in critical thing. Manage time, self-awareness. These are the few of the things he's trying to get you to do every day. Do every day. Led 5 schools to increase test scores with his teacher principal collaboration. Things he give to you will have you take you drive to the next level. But first, you need to get some fuel at gas station. Supporting education leaders, creating a culture for kids that'll last for ages. Lack of access to quality professional development, that's outrageous. Got his doctorate in education, leadership, research, make changes. Need to put the kids first and raise them. Need to teach them they worth, stop playing. Later on, they gon' run this nation. Dr. Joe with his dissertation taught to those who would fix, make changes. I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intentions. The teaching that talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers, 50 to 80%. They ain't know that you hear me.
Great day, leaders. Welcome. Week 64 of the Empowerment Zone from the Speaking Life into You Leadership Livestream Series. Let's go! So excited, you all. So excited as always to be here once again. The Lord has blessed us to be here once again, so why not be here and make full impact, be who we need to be at all times, in all places, all spaces. So, yeah, it's a wonderful day. Yes, as you start coming in, definitely let us know where you could possibly be streaming in from. Where are you streaming in from? Let us know in the chat. Definitely want to acknowledge and recognize you. We get another chance, you all, another chance. I have been on the road for about 6 weeks. Some of you that follow me, you probably have seen a few of the posts and been overnight in the airport and that kind of thing. But we're still here today for week 64, volume 2. Number 22. So we back at 22 consecutive weeks. So we're going to keep that going. Whether it's being on Saturday or Sunday, you've been here right here with us. We've been providing PD. You know, it's a PD cast. You know, we like to tout that very much because we definitely want to touch on personal and professional development because we know that drives professional outcomes. So that's why we always in that area. We got a good one today. Before we get started, as always, I want to know how you doing. Definitely let us know how you doing. I also want to take just 2-3 seconds for our nation. You know, our nation, we are in a constant internal battle, internal war. And we just want to give a couple of seconds to that, and we'll continue to move forward. Yeah. That's important, you all. We got to stay centered. And the only way that we can be individually and collectively who we need to be is that we are aware of the world that's around us. Because collaboration, it doesn't happen alone. Remember that. We talk that. We're going to continue to tell that. So as we get ready to get going, definitely I want to think. Good afternoon. Memphis in the house. What's going on? Marcus Stokes, definitely appreciate it. Lakita, you in the place as well. Definitely appreciate you. Key in the building. Appreciate you all. And one of the things that I want to get going before we get into our content today, you know, and definitely we tell you to rest so that you can reset, maintain that mindset, even during breaks. Even with that, we want to prelude you in and just talk about never standing still. That doesn't mean always doing more. Okay, that doesn't mean that. That's not what we're saying. But even during breaks, you want to stay engaged, and that's whether you're an educator, whether you doing whatever profession you're doing. Even when you call yourself unplugging, when you call yourself needing that break, needing that space, you got to understand that growth is a continuous process. So we want to continue to stay engaged. All right, stay engaged. Even when the pace slow down, even when the pace gets down, we want to still be in the mind frame that, look, we focused in on what's to come. Yeah, we had a mental and perhaps even physical rest, but at the same time, we are still in that moment, never standing still, although we are still. You get what I'm saying with that, you are. So it's an internal thing. It's an internal thing to make your mental continue to do what you wanted to do. And to kind of pack that down even more, doing nothing for too long, that only gives ground away. And even doing rest, you want to keep pressing forward. Even during rest, you want to be able to stay re-energized, right? You want to continue to be restored so you can keep going forward. So even during rest, you still never standing still. You still never standing still because, again, it's inside. I hope that's hitting in on you right there, because we're gonna get real. We're gonna be light today. We're not gonna have as many implementation strategies. I have a couple of challenges for you to do at the end, but never stand still, right? Doing nothing is not the route, even doing rest. So during this season, you want to progress by continuing to be aligned. You want to stay aligned with everything and that you've been doing so that you can stay focused on it. So rest your body, but you keeping your mind curious. You keeping your mind open, flexible. You still trying to figure out the way, even during your moments of rest, because you never want to stand still. Not because you in a rush, not because you don't have faith in what you're doing, but because you have faith, but because you're being intentional about reaching those goals, those possibilities. You're trying to reel in the realities, right? You got to reel in the reality. You got to keep fishing for that reality that you're searching, because that goal on the other side of it, raise student achievement, increase teacher capacity, increase leadership capacity, so you can improve your educational community. And with that being said, that goes along with any type of community that you're in, any type of growth cycle that you're in, right? So yeah, we want to definitely start in there as we prelude into what we're doing. And as we do, please like, comment, share it out. We want to make sure that we continue to be very, very intentional about our PD, because it's inside. Personal development drives those professional outcomes. And when we know that, we're in a constant mode. We never standing still, even during moments of rest. So I hope that kind of lighten you up just a little bit as we go into a little bit more here in just a moment. And let's see what we got in the comments there. Definitely appreciate you. Dr. Keita Jeter in the house. Definitely appreciate you. Calumet City, Illinois. Always in the building. Thank you so much for all you do. You help keep us in the algorithm, and we definitely appreciate you so much. Now, you all that follow me and that are in the building quite some time, you kind of familiar with the 4R framework that I've talked about. We've titled it a few times: reflect, review, reframe, and revitalize. You're familiar with that. Those are the 4R framework, and we're gonna definitely put that in a text for you as we're doing this next year, along with some of the other things that we're going to continue to do to empower schools, empower leaders, educators, because we can see the bigger picture. We can see the bigger picture. So when we think about those 4Rs and we go into this next season of breaks, and then you go into your next semester, so you want to be resting with purpose right now. You want to be resting with purpose. Let me take that down. You want to be resting with purpose. You want to be resting intentionally so that you can get some clarity about those things that have worked during the first semester, because you may have had some issues with some of them. Some things may have gone perfectly. Even with that, you want to make sure that you have it in place where it can continue to go perfectly. So you're resting with purpose. You're thinking about, how can I get some time. Right now, you're making time rather to be with your family, right? Be with your children, be with the loved ones that are important to you. All that's important because you can't fix everything, but you're prioritizing as you go about because you're resting with purpose. So even during your rest period, you prioritizing, you thinking, you reflecting, you looking back on what has been working for you and what has not been working for you. So even during this break, you resting with purpose. You resting with purpose, not to detach. We just talked about you don't want to get so lazy because it takes a lot to build muscles up, but it go back real quick if you've ever been in training or anything like that. So know that you got to be even during the moments where you take time for yourself, you bag back. Growth within yourself doesn't stop. I'm not talking about someone telling you what to do, someone trying to coerce you into doing different things as far as your growth, but for you, for yourself, for your longevity, for your continued love for what you do. That's why you submerge and immerse yourself in it, right? That's important because no one is going to love it for you. Even if you're in a terrible situation at your educational place right now, this is not the time to back down. I hate it there. I'm not going to ever grow there even or have an opportunity. So now as you prepare to make those changes, because if you understand that you already just said what's going to happen. So that means you're preparing yourself to step out. And in doing so, you can't step back. And if you're going to be there, you want to continue to make your contributions on a daily. Make it something that is understood that you're a part of this team. You're a part of this environment. You're not going to back down. You're going to keep giving. You got to give. So know that as we continue with that, that's one thing. Rest with purpose, right? But you also want to stay mentally ready. Upgrade your good habits. I read Atomic Habits, and they talk about habit stacking, putting habits within a habit. See, today, normally, since I'm back in my home, I would have gone to the sauna prior to, but because of the travel time, I couldn't do everything. I had to prioritize first off that I am gonna go ahead and do my PD cast, make sure that I'm on time with it, because as you know, we changed from Sunday doing multiple episodes to Saturday, but I still want to make sure I'm here. In that time that I couldn't do it, of course, we went back to Sunday. But you want to stay mentally sharp, those good habits. So I was saying in the sauna, I like to read also. So I'm habit stacking. I'm happy putting my reading along with my physical health. That's something that we should all prioritize to do. If you got some things that you want to make sure you do, that's a great way to do it. So staying mentally ready to do those things and exit out those things that you don't need to do. I was telling my friends the other night, I don't watch as much football and basketball anymore because I have to prioritize what we're doing here within the people that we serve and for the people that we serve. So, and through it all, third thing we want to talk about today, just press forward with joy. Press forward through it all because it was meant to be. It's a reason why whatever it is that happened to you, happened to you. And if you can just see on the other side of it, last week we talked about in the prelude, seeing beyond the marker. If you can just see beyond that marker and understand that what's for you is for you, there's not an earthly, and I call them earthlies. There's not an earthly being who can stop what's for you because, number one, your work precedes you. So even if they're persecuting you, because we can expect persecution as leaders. There's not one that's ever come before that has not experienced it. Not one. So what would be different about us? What could possibly be different about one of us? So knowing that, you continue with your joy and the love for what you're doing. That's powerful, you all. And I know that that's something that is not just, you just don't get it immediately. That's something you got to work at every day. I've had to work at it every single day now for a few years, actually. So but that's internal, but that's something that you're controlling, because remember, you on your break, you're on your holiday break. So you got to make sure that you take charge of that by resting with purpose, by staying mentally ready and engaged and pressing forward through with joy, no matter what. Because you got to see beyond it all anyway. We're not going to stop because you've been in education however long now, but you there. So, and you in whatever other profession you have, because I know I have other professionals also that chime in and listen in. Whatever what you're in there for, that's your purpose. So you want to make it the best that you could possibly be. Over this holiday break, you are, over these next next break rather, reach out to somebody that you hadn't in a minute. Reach out to someone that you hadn't in a minute. That's right. That's right, Dr. Makita G. What God has for you is for you and only you. And as we push forward with that, reach out to someone that you haven't. And I'm going to take that a little bit further step on the professional side of it. Fix 2 relationships. Reconcile 2 relationships, or enhance 2 relationships. If you're one of those persons or people that don't think you have conflict or don't have conflict with others, make sure you enhance relationships. Like, this is something that you're to purposefully and intentionally do during this next season. Now, over the holiday break, you're going to be preparing to do that, because that's something you have to mentally prepare to do as well. It's not something to go fix a relationship. That's not something you just wake up and say, I'm going to do it. Sometimes it happens that way. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to have your reservations if you have conflict with a person, because people back at that internal battle that we talk about all the time. Should I do it? They ought to come to me first. I was in the right, or they were in the wrong. Whatever the case may be, you know how we rationalize, generalize, and make things fit our lifestyle when we are not as self-aware as we can or need to be during all situations. Y'all, we talking good today. We talking about things that we definitely need to do over this next, over this break, as you prepare to go back into the work or to the schools. Crucial. So think about that. I want to also ask that, let's just be of joyful spirits. Let's be of collaborative spirits over the end of the year and over into the next year. Let's pray for each other. Let's do good things for each other. Let's wish well on the next being. It's not realistic for us to believe that good things can happen or are going to continue to happen, and we're wishing bad on other people, or we're not uplifting those that are doing what they need to do. So understand that this is a journey. It's a constant journey that we're on. And I appreciate you all so much. Those that come in each week, those that have been with the journey, we continue. We're going to continue that as well. I didn't want to stay on too long. Next week, we're going to definitely do a recap of the year. So it'll be a year in review type deal. We come back in January. After that, we will continue. We'll continue to provide PD. We'll continue to inform, collaborate, work with. And I want to hear from you. I want to definitely continue to hear from you so that we can move forward. Got a number of dates in January. We'll be coaching teachers, February professional development as well. So if you're in a situation where you need a different perspective, where you need to see or to hear or just some support, because a lot of times that's what it comes down to when you need different leadership roles. You just need someone to come in and back up what you're saying. Someone with some credentials, someone who does it on a regularly, someone who can make impact when allowed to make the impact, someone who's personable, down to earth, relatable, that can come in and speak your language to your people. That would be me. Don't be afraid to reach out for professional developments over the course of this next semester, because we got a couple of them on. We definitely want to fully book up so that we can continue to make impact. So we can continue to be a bright light. Any of that, please do let me know. I want to definitely also encourage you to, if you have not checked out any of my works, check them out, y'all. Check them out. We got some really good works. And the thing about it, we're going to continue to produce great content. And once they all go to that next, you'll already have them. You'll already be in them. But the DIP approach for educators, discipline culture plus instructional practice equals performance. That's our signature. Along with empowering educational communities, a guide for teacher-principal collaboration. Those two centerpieces, those are two books that you definitely want to add to your calendar. And not just because I wrote them. And empowering educational communities, it is endorsed by Principal Kafele, as well as Dr. Pedro Nogueira. And I know they wouldn't put their name on just any book. So we appreciate them for that as well. But I hope you will add it to your catalog. The DIP approach for student and adult success, it's a SEL/leadership curriculum that we'll be implementing over 12 weeks over the next at another school during this next semester as well. So it's a train to teacher certification program, or you can have us come in and deliver it directly to your students. Say that you have time frame built in the day, or that you're making it happen, because a lot of times you are just about being creative with those schedules. Not being afraid to push the needle sometimes. Sometimes you got to do something different, think outside the box in order to make it happen. But those are the cases when you can really make impact, when programs really meet the specifications that you need. And then you can push your students over the hump so that you can increase those test scores, so that you increase that teacher capacity, and so that leaders can continue to grow as well. It's a trifold effect. And that's what we continue to work toward and for. And then, of course, our poetry collection. Home of the Blues, Poem for the Spirit, Heart, and Soul. Christian poetry for the Spirit, Heart, and Soul. And then Dream Season, motivational poems for the Spirit, Heart, and Soul. And we got the critical skills mastery workbooks. Didn't put those up there today, but we do have those as well. And that's K through 12, but we center in on 2 through 8 with those. Reading language, read informational, speaking and listening, as well as the language workbooks on those. So we got those in a couple of schools already, and we want to definitely continue to grow, continue to empower, continue to inspire, because it's one thing to have resources, have materials, but then it's another thing to have resources and materials that your kids may see the person on the book and it looks like them. That's inspiration in itself. So we do this for a number of reasons, and that's one of them, so that we can inspire, empower, and collaborate with people. We love people. So you all, as you continue to get ready for the holidays, I know you're getting ready for Christmas this week. I want to make sure I didn't have an overlong live stream this week, but continue to be who you are. Continue to learn, love, and lead with your heart. Empower education community, right? Continue to search for wisdom so that you can find and work in your true purpose. And continue to be courageous so that you can drown out all fear and do what you need to do in your educational spaces, places, homes, and communities. To God be the glory. You all have the best week, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much.